Good afternoon, everyone. I am Sushma C, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Science and Engineering, Bapuji Institute of Engineering and Technology, Davangere. At the outset, welcome you all for the day 2 session 2 for 2 days online workshop on national cyber safety and security standards. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our speaker, Mr. Yasir Sheikh Sir, National Cyber Defense Research Center, Bangalore. Sir has multiple certifications: CCNA, CEH, ECSA, CHFI, and OSCP in his account with over 4 years of experience in training. He is also engaged in providing cybersecurity to students and corporates all over the world. He has been continuously talking cybersecurity workshops and seminars all over India. Sir has trained more than 3,000 students and more than 1,000 corporates. He has been invited as speaker in many international conferences, motivating everyone who sees cybersecurity as a need and as a career option. With over 4 years of experience in the field of training, Sir is continuously engaged in conducting trainings for corporates and educational institutions. Multiple agencies, multinational companies, nationalized and international banks are availing for their services. He has been invited as keynote speaker at multiple international conferences like NISS, NCSC, Cyber War Room, Nalcon, etc. Sir is awarded as Best Individual in Providing Cybersecurity Training by CSI in 2018. Sir is going to deliver a talk on penetration testing versus red teaming in today's session. It is great pleasure to have such an eminent speaker with us in this session. I welcome you, sir. I request Mr. Yasir Sheikh, sir, to take over the session. Sir, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the introduction.
Thank you, sir.
Hamil. Actually, I'm just coming up with post-COVID, so my voice is good. But still, I'll thank you so much, everyone, for joining this session. And here, I'll be able to, I'll be giving you an overview about what exactly the red teaming is and why we should be comparing it with penetration testing. And this would be an ideal one to make your career much, you can say, specific and in a professionalized way. And I'll be giving you the demonstrations as well, like how to safeguard your assets, especially the IT assets. So I'll share my screen. Let me. Are you guys able to see my screen? Guys, you are able to see my screen? Anyone? Just raise your hand.
No, sir. No, sir.
So,
Hello.
hello? Yeah, sir.
Sir.
I've shared my screen. I don't know.
But it's not visible, sir. I think multiple. Wait, sir. Wait, I will check. Yeah, it is.
Sorry? Are you guys able to see me now?
Yes, sir. Sir, your screen is visible. Ah, yes, sir. It is visible, sir, now.
Oh, okay. So, without wasting time, I'll just start this session. There's a lot of disturbance, ma'am. Can everyone mute their mic?
Okay, sir. Okay.
There are a lot of disturbance coming up.
Okay, sir. Participants, please mute yourselves.
Still there is a lot of noise, I guess. There. Okay. So let's start. So today's topic, I'll be covering I'll be concentrating more on red teaming aspects rather than penetration testing, and it would be a very funny, it will be a fun-loving session, and we'll enjoy a lot. And definitely, there would be a lot of takeaways from this session after I finish this session. And if you have any questions or something like that, we will have it at the end of the sessions, and you can just drop me a text into your chat box, or else you can raise your you can unmute your mic and ask me the question. So today's topic, it is red teaming. Hackers just don't attack your IT assets. That means it is just not your computer or something like that. They even try to attack your various activities like your mouse, or you can say your wireless keyboards, or even your wireless devices connected to a network, and many more. My introduction has already been given, so I'll skip that part. And the agenda for today is we'll learn about what exactly the red teaming is, what would be the process, like what are the process involved in red teaming. We'll compare red teaming. We'll compare red teaming versus pen testing. What is the difference, and what are the key important role in both the domains, and then we'll understand the the importance of the red teaming, why it is so essential right now in this real world scenarios. And the last part will be learning about the tools and techniques that has been involved in red teaming, and I'll be giving you the demonstration as well, like how we can hijack or how we can hack a computer or anything which has been connected to a wireless device. To start with, the first question is comes in the mind is what exactly the red teaming is. So the question is very simple, and if you go ahead and ask different people, there would be a broad and there would be very specific answers coming out. So there would be hundreds of opinion coming out to this particular questions. Some would say it is just internal pen testing, or it can be an active directory attacks, or it can be your data controller attacks on data controller, or it can be your specifically bypassing your all the security controls measures and all those things. But it has what I have understood about while learning about this process or something like that, it has both the views. One is the broad specific for external use, and the other one would be very specific to the internal use. So we can use red teaming in both aspects. The external factors also has been considered in this part, and the internal factors are also been considered in this part. So to be more specific about this red teaming process is what exactly it means is the testing and measuring the resilience of cybersecurity of an organization. Now, what does this mean is it is not just your you can say the digital assets what we are talking about. It is also testing your physical assets like security controls, parameters, the elevators, your physical security as well. So everything into the organization which has been considered as a you can say for controlling or safeguarding the organizations, and by the techniques, you can say the real-time techniques or real-time attacks, whatever it has been possible for bypassing your security controls and everything. It is coming under the red teaming part. So testing and measuring, it is testing the technical, operational, and social controls. Now, what does this stand for is your technical assets is one part, the operational assets is the other part, and the social controls. Social control is the controlling over the mindset of your organization's employees, or the working infrastructure or working culture of the organizations, the people involved in the organizations, the level of access they are having. All those things has been considered in this part. Now, resilience means, you can say, it consists of all the preventive controls that as an organization have. You can say the access point, the firewalls, the IDS, the IPS, the SOC team, you can say the physical security, your you can say the elevators, or even your you can say access cards and all those things. Everything what an organization is having to secure their, you can say, organizations, having a preventive controls over their organizations, hardening their security, everything comes into the resilience part. And if I am talking about the organization, I'm not talking about the information security infrastructure, that is IT. I'm not talking about the information technology. I'm talking about the whole organization. The organizations would be consisting a lot of domains inside it. Your servers are different, your databases are different, your hosts are different, your security controls are different, your physical securities are different. So I'm talking on behalf of the whole organization, not limited to one part of the organization. Now, if I talk about the end-to-end part, attack vector is something like it is not just having following the procedures or the scope document that has been initiated by the organization. It is something called as you can say uninformed actions or initiative to attack an organization, just like the real world scenarios or real time attacks. What exactly can happen into the real time environment, attacking, bypassing your firewalls, cracking your systems, cracking your servers, and all those things. And after that, what you achieve is the internal crown jewels, like internal details, which would be a lot of which would create, like if it is being leaked out, it can create a lot of havoc into the environment. It can your organization's value will go down, and number of things can happen. Recently you have seen like a lot of data as big organizations have been leaked out, like especially if you talk about the Indian part, the Domino's data was leaked out, and it was around 28 TB of data that was consisting of username, passwords, the credit card information, the address, the delivers, the orders, and everything was out in the public part. Even in earlier stages, we have seen the Aadhaar card data was leaked out, and there were a lot of havoc that has been created into the you can say the environment. So it can lead to a lot of you can say the degradation of the organization's value. Then the TTPs, what I'll be using, that is technique, tactics, and procedures. Now, this is something it will be differing from industry to industry and clients to clients. So if I'm talking about FMGC industries, that would the techniques, the tools, and the tactics would be completely different. If I'm talking about the banking industry, the tools, the techniques, and the procedures would be completely different. So red teaming does not have a specific standards, or you can say specific set of rules that needs to be performed in each and every organization. No, it depends on different organizations and different you can say architectures and different designs what an organization has been following, and depending upon those things. So for example, let's assume one organization is dealing in the banking sector, so their data is very important, and their data centers are kept with with the highest level of security. But when it comes to government nuclear plant, nuclear energies, or something like that, the difference is too much over there. So the banking sector would be having their own controls, the nuclear plant would be having their own controls. So red teaming is something where it can the techniques and the tactics would change according to the organizations from one to another. So people do ask like what kind of red teamings are there, or what are the different types of red teaming which is there into the market. So there are around four types of red teamings what I have learned till now. It is one part is the technical red teaming. These are the individuals who do technical stuffs, creating the malware, bypassing firewalls, your targeting basically your assets which are related to IT. In fact, your computers, your servers, your domain name controllers, and active directories, and all those things. So those are the people who deals or try to attack those kind of assets. Now there is something called as operational red teaming. Now operational red teaming operational red teaming is something are the people or the group of people who tries to form the strategy of what exactly things needs to be done depending upon the organization. As I told earlier, the banking sector would be having different approach, the nuclear power plant would be having a different approach, the FMGC or medical industry would be having a different approach. So designing the tactics, designing the tools, or the you can say the way the attack should go on, and all those things, that is being considered into the operational red teaming part. Then there is something called as physical red teaming. Now physical red teaming is something wherein people would physically go into the organization. They'll act as a spy into an organization. They will collect all the credentials, all the major information of the organizations, which would be helpful for them to attack and get the internal details about the organization and all those things. So this is considered as a physical red teaming group, or a group of people who just act as a spy and enter into the organization. Then there is something called as psychological and social red teaming. Very important part, because humans are tend to make mistakes, and if you play around the human psychologically, then definitely they are bound to get trapped into the attacker's trap. So social and psychological elements plays a very important role. The attacker will try to get the information from the people who are there inside into the organization, leading to data losses, or leading to credentials what they are having, or what kind of credentials they are having. All those details can be gathered via social or psychological element. So these are like I have categorized into four types of red teaming, which a group of people do. So that is technical, operational, physical, and psychological or social elements. Now, people ask like, what exactly are the steps that has been involved into the red teaming? So if you compare the penetration testing and red teaming process, you'll find a quite difference into that part. So if I talk about the physical, or you can say the actual red teaming process, is the first step is the recon. Now recon, it stands for information gathering or reconnaissance. Now what happens in this part is the attacker will select the target and determine the attack methods of the external interface. So attacker won't be the attacker won't be there inside your organization or something like that. He will start externally, like what are the people who are the people who he can target, who are the people what are the assets which can be targeted externally of the organizations, and all those things. So that is all the information gathering steps needs to be done at the econ level. Then once you have done your study about the organizations, and you have found out the weaknesses, or you have find out the flaws into the organizations. Now it is the time to develop the attack methodology. Now attack methodology is something what all things you will be needing, and what all things you will be wanting to get access to the particular organization or a particular systems of an organization. So that step is called as weaponizing, or weaponize your steps. Now the third step is the very important part of the red teaming part, that is the delivery or deliver. Now the attacker will frame the attack in such a way it would be either by social engineering skills, or it can be either by email attachments, or it can be even a physical attack, or a attack driven by a web application or a web. So these are the steps what an attacker can do to inject his payload or inject his malicious code into any of the you can say the assets of the organization. Now, once this delivery mechanism is successfully installed, or something successfully has been clicked by the insiders, then they will try to exploit those vulnerabilities inside the organizations, and they will be trying to obtain the access of the organization's infrastructure. Now, infrastructures I'm talking about specifically called as, they'll try to get details about their hosts which are there into the organizations, the the sub departments or the subnets which are there into the organizations. They'll study about it, they'll roam around into the network, gather as much information as they can, and they will start installing the malicious software to remotely control the whole organization's infrastructure. That is, they will start connecting their attacked machine or the compromised machines to CNC server, that is command and communication server, wherein all the machines would be connected to one command and control systems, and attacker will start giving commands from those CNCs. Then he will take the control and establish all the control channel remotely to control the infrastructure of the organizations with the help of the CNC. Once he has the whole control of the infrastructure or something like that, then he will start the executing the necessary actions that has, like, if his goal is to achieve the database, or if his goal is to achieve the you can say the mail access, or if the goal is to achieve the active directories, or if the goal is to achieve the data controllers, or if the goal is to attack any server or get access to any server, then he will start deploying the attack and start executing the attacks in such a way that he will be able to complete his goal. So these are the process which has been involved in the red teaming part. Now, the best thing, like the most important slide of this session, is the comparing between the pen testing and the red teaming. Now, pen testing is something you'll get, like you'll see a lot of job coming out of pen testing, because it itself is a very vast domain. Testing the applications, testing the networks, testing the mobile applications, testing your internal networks, testing your wireless networks. All those things comes into the pen testing. Now, in each of the activity, I'll compare what exactly the pen testing is and what exactly the red teaming is. So first of all, we'll talk about the goal. The goal of pen testing is to take or gain the advantage of a vulnerability that is been possessing into the infrastructure. That is pen testing. So if there is a new vulnerability or 0-day out in the market or something like that, the pen testers will try to take this advantage of that particular vulnerability and trying to get access to your system. Whereas in red teaming, it is not just a part of organization, but it would be completely testing the whole security controls of an organization. So if you define the pen testing and red teaming, it is like pen testing is being done with the predefined scope. So once an organizations go for the pen testing part, they define the scope that they need to test particular segment of the organization. So they have to test their internal or internal host, or they have to test their servers, or they have to test their firewalls. Everything would be defined into the scope. Whereas in the scope of the red teaming is the entire organization, be it technical, be it physical, or be it the human assets. Everything would be coming under the red teaming part. Then the testing techniques. Now, what differs in this part is like the map, scan, and exploit. So pen testing has a process that is, you'll map your target, you'll scan the target, and depending upon the scan results, you will try to exploit that target. Whereas in red teaming, it is something called like real world TTPs, that is tools, techniques, procedures. So real world, what kind of real attacks it can be performed into your network or onto an organizations would be would be coming out into the red teaming. Now, post exploitations, like after once you have exploited the vulnerability or weaknesses, the limitations of the port exploitation methods are very limited into pen testing. Why? Because organizations won't give you permissions to exploit it more or get deep into their data, or some, they won't allow pen testers to work on production servers or something like that. But in red teaming, it is unlimited. Like you can go beyond, like again, like you can dig into the organization one after the other, one after the other, one after the other process. Then recurrence. Now pen testing is post every development life cycle. Now if any organization have deployed a new update patch or something like that, after that they have to do a pen testing, like every deployment model successfully. After that you need to do a pen testing. But whereas in red teaming, it is a periodic life cycle. Periodic life cycle means you can do it via once in 3 months, twice in once in 6 months, or once in a year. That depends on the organizations, depending upon what kind of organizations they are. Then testing methodology, what they follow. So pen testing focus on the efficiency. Now efficiency is just like how an application or how a network is running. The more smoothly it is, then the goal of the pen testing is to make application secure and running efficiently. But the goal of red teaming is to focus on the real world attack simulations, like what kind of attack a real world can have. So let's assume if you are having an organization who is holding a data center, then from the entry to exit point, what all things you are carrying, what all things allowed, what all things not allowed to carry inside the organizations, what kind of access you are having, all those things comes under the red teaming part. So this is basic difference between pen testing and a red teaming, where red teaming is you can say a broad way of doing testing your security controls, but as compared to pen testing, it is having a limited scope, and you need to work within that scope only. You cannot test outside of that particular scope. Now there are various tools that can be used for performing the red teaming activity. So this can be HackRF, that is very good tool to do or having testing on the radio frequencies, your FMs, your wireless walkie-talkies, and the you can say air traffic signals and everything. All those things you can, if you want to test it, so you need to have a specific device that can read and that can analyze the radio frequencies. So HackRF is one of the thing what you can use it. Today I'll be demonstrating you these two tools, that is mouse jack, that is crazy radio. We call it as a crazy radio. This will help us to attack the wireless devices that are connected, like wireless keyboards or mouse that are connected to a system. So this can be this is again a kind of land turtle which can be used to spread the malware over the network. So there are various tools. There are not these many tools, but there are hundreds of more tools which is available, like Wi-Fi Pineapple and all those things that can be able to help you out to understand the methods which can be used into the red teaming part. So there are this is particular link wherein you can get the whole kit of particular red teaming tools which has been there, but this is not the one, but this is one of the most used tools. I can say I am using this particularly one of them, one of the tools which I have found it very nice. So for the demonstration purpose, I'll be doing the mouse jacking. Now mouse jacking is a technique wherein we try to attack a wireless mouse that has been connected into a system. So for the demonstration purpose, I have you can see this is the another system which is been connected to a wireless mouse. Now what I will do is like I will try to attack this particular system, or I will try to control this particular system with the help of the wireless mouse. Now for this tutorial I am going to use this particular tool, that is Crazy Radio. Now let's go ahead. You can view my another screen also, right? Ma'am, anyone there? So just confirm me you can see the other screen as well. Students, anyone from the students can unmute and tell me like you can see the other screen or not. Hello.
ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Okay. Okay. So this is the other connected, like this is the other system which has been connected, and I've connected the wireless mouse to this particular system, and I will try to access this particular system with the help of the Crazy Radio. For that, I'll definitely go to my Kali machines, and I'll inject my Crazy Radio to the system. And if you see this Google device, yeah, this is my Crazy Radio dongle which has been connected. Over here, I'll come down and I'll use the tool like a coding part or a tool named as Jacket, which is like a tool which will help us to run the scripts over the you can say vulnerable wireless devices. Now, if I want to go ahead and check what exactly I need to do, there are various other scripts which I have developed. So let's go ahead and read the script of you can say windows.txt. This file, I want to read the script what I have written into it. So if you see, there is a delay GUIR, that is if you press Windows plus R key, and it will write notepad.exe, and within that notepad.exe it will execute something called as you are using a vulnerable wireless device. I'll be executing this particular script, and it will be executed over here on this particular system. So what I'll do is like I'll start the script, that is jacket -- script, and I need to give them the name, that is windows.txt. Now as soon as I started, if you see, I'm not doing anything in this particular computer. Nothing. I'm not doing anything. I'm just refreshing it and something like that. And after some time, after the scanning has been completed, it will list me the names, like which are the devices which has been connected to the other system. Now, if you see, this is my Logitech HID with the packets count seen 18 seconds ago, and this is the MAC address of the particular device. I'll just show the screen again to you guys to make sure that yes, see, it is a blank screen. Now I'll start the process. Now I'll start properly injecting the payload. So this is another wireless device which has been found out. So it will start scanning again and again. So the number of wireless devices which has been there into nearby, like it can execute. It can execute up to 10 meters right now, because it doesn't have so much high capabilities. So I'll just see, and I'll tell the target to attack my Logitech device. So the moment I press enter, it will start executing it, and here you see it is automatically executing all those things. And if you see here, let me get this device up. It is not allowing me to take these sessions up because it has already executed the script. What I'll do, I'll just execute it again. You see the notepad automatically opened, and it it has given me, it is not allowing me because it is still injecting. And if you see the all attacks has been completed, what I'll do is like I'll perform it again. So I'm putting the notepad screen up over here. Okay. Flash. Okay. So what I'll do is like I'll again do the same attack, and I'll show you how it works. So if you see my firewalls right now, if you see my firewall is on, what I will do is now you can say like I can turn off the firewalls using a particular script. So what I will do is like I'll execute another script on it, and we can see that the firewall would be disabled. I'll come down again over here. I'll run the another script. Let me see the another script, that is fire.txt. That is, I'll write fire.txt, and you'll see that the script is two. So it has been doing certain activities, and it will be making a file that is ps1, and in this file it will be written that you can say the firewall execution policy unrestricted. That means it will be setting the execution, turning off the firewall, and I'll be opening a PowerShell to execute this particular thing. Again, I'll clear this part, and again I'll come down to jacket and hyphen script. I'll execute the fire.txt. Again, it will start scanning. It will take around 5 to 10 seconds, or even sometimes it may take up to 30 seconds to scan nearby devices. So it will, okay, still it is unknown. Yeah, you'll see again it identified the first device, that is the key is 2. You need to check that carefully, and I will see, I'll press 2, and you see there's nothing happening right now over here. Again, it is not happening, nothing is happening. The moment I start pressing, I do 2 and enter, you'll see that there would be automatically happening, everything would be doing automatically, and after some time you will see that notification that the firewall has been disabled. See, there is a file that has been written out. Now again there would be a PowerShell. This everything has been done automatically. I'm not doing anything. The execution has been done. Let's see. You see the other machines, the firewall is turned off. If you go here and check about it, firewall protections, you see it has been off. So this particular device, with the help of this particular device, I can completely control the other systems. If this wireless device has been connected to any of the machines, I can control that machines. I can even it is possible for me to take a reverse share of this particular machine, and I can inject anything into this particular some machines. I can create users into that particular machines, and all those things you can do it with the help of this particular wireless mouse. What I have done is like I have used this particular website, and I have created that particular script. So what all things you need to do is you can just select it and you can just create a payload. So if I want to disable firewall with the help of a reverse shell, I can just refresh it once, and I can just select disable firewall. I want a reverse shell. Here you need to put the IP addresses of what kind of like what on which IP you want the reverse shell and the port number. The payload would be generated over here. So it is very easy to have a ducky script running out over a wireless devices. I can do anything about that particular system with the help of this particular vulnerable device, or vulnerable which has been like vulnerable mouse which has been connected. So it is not that I am very good a script writer or something like that. I am creating all the payloads with the help of the tools which is available online. So if anyone says that you need to be a good programmer to do a testing, then I definitely say there are tools which will give you predefined programs, predefined payloads and everything. What I tell students is normally to concentrate on what things you are doing, or what things you want to perform. You should always have an objective to what exactly you want to do. So finding those objectives is the most important thing. And after you're clear with your intentions, you have hundreds of tools, you have hundreds of researchers, you have hundreds of papers you can study, and you can execute those scripts. So programming, if you know, it is an added advantage to yourself. But even if you don't know, you can create your programs with the help of multiple tools. Coming back again. So what are the benefits of the red teaming? So there are various benefits what we have learned about the red teaming part. So first is the improvement in the business process. Now, what does this point mean is the if an organization know the flaws which has been existing into their organization, definitely they can build more better infrastructures and more secure infrastructures for their organization, and which will help them technically getting more stronger, getting more secure, more reliable to their clients. So that is the one part. Second is the strengthening the technical infrastructure security controls. Technical infrastructures, I'm talking about your IDS, IPS, DMZ, firewalls, the SOC, the threat intel, everything comes into it. So red teaming helps to strengthen those particular, you can say, security controls, especially about your infrastructure. Then the other thing is like unknown threats targeting to your organization. The organization will come to know about the threats which are been existing into their organizations, which they haven't thought of. That will also surface by the red teamers, or the organization who is doing the red teaming part. Then you will also explore the threats which are sitting inside your network or inside your organization. Red teaming will help the organization to identify the people or the threats which are sitting inside your organization. Then also red teaming will help them to improve their defensive and detective security measures, like defensive and detective security measures, especially for the SOC team, that is security operation team, the SIEMs which has been there, then their threat intel team. All those things, they will try to improvise themselves more and more, and making the organization very secure from the external or the internal attack both. Then understanding all options for the advisory to break into the aid move throughout your system. So red teaming will help the organization to understand the various methods, the physical and the technical methods which is there or which might be existing into their organization and they are not aware of. They also come to know the places wherein the organizations can get compromised or something like that. Everything will be, an organization can be able to achieve with the help of the red teaming process. McAfee, yes, McAfee gives the red teaming services to the clients across the globe, especially in India also. McAfee has, you can say, quite good red teamers in their team, and there are best like they have the best expertise and the experience as well. So doing red teaming at Sophie would be definitely one's like a good thing an organization can have. So that's all for what I wanted to say about the red teaming and pen testing part. I'd like to have questions from your end. You guys, any questions?
Participants, if you have any questions, you can ask.
No questions, madam.
You guys, any questions you are having, you can text me up or you can just ask your book. Ask.
No questions, sir.
Okay. In future, if you have any questions, you can tell me on the number.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Myself, Dr. Vinita HP. So, participants, any questions once again? Participant, please, any queries? Okay, Mugita. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, no more questions.
Okay.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for your time, giving time for us. So we came to know about your grandmother. Really, we are sorry to hear about that, sir. But with that busy schedule also, you kept up your promise, sir. We are really happy for that, sir. Thank you once again, sir, for you.
Thank you so
So
much.
all the participants, thank you for your active participation. And the feedback link will be shared. Please give the feedback, and certificate will be generated. Within 2 days, we'll send the certificate to your mail ID. Thank you, sir. Sir,
Thank
wait for a minute. Our madam is going to address once.
Sure, ma'am.
Hello. Hello. Yes, sir. I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Sir, yeah, participants, once again, I am asking, is there any queries? Please let me know.
No queries,
Is there
sir.
any queries? No queries. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now I call our beloved HOD will speak few words about the workshop. Please be patient, ma'am. One second. Be patient, please.
Next.
ಇವತ್ತು ಯಾರು ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಶಾಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ವಾ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ
Purnima, madam. ಹಲೋ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೇಡಮ್. I request the participant, please mute your mic. I request all the participants, please mute your mic. Uh, 2 minutes, our HOD will join shortly. Ma'am, bani.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful presentation. And I think all the participants, to some extent, they got more information about cyber security, staff as well as student. Even student have also joined through YouTube link. And since they have this cyber security as an elective subject, I think this has opened an eye for them, and this is the first step in learning some of the facts about cyber security. Everyone knows now the importance of cyber security, because every day we will read something or the other thing about cyber crime in newspaper, and probably this will open an eye for the participant and how they can make themselves secure while using the online platform. Thank you very much for the organizers who have made this to happen in our department. I think I thank the coordinators, Dr. Srinivas, BS, and Vinita HP, for making an effort in organizing this excellent workshop. And I hope all the participants have benefited through this workshop, and we are planning to conduct more and more workshop in the coming days. Thank you one and all. I also thank all the participants, and I think the feedback we'll consider, and if anything we need to take into consideration for improvement in the coming days, we'll do care of the same. Thank you one and all. Thank you all the participants.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Now I request the participants to give their valuable feedback. Any participants from outside the BIT? Any participants?
Okay, shall myself Raghunandan, shall I give the feedback on it?
Yes, Raghunandan, please proceed.
Okay, it's my pleasure to be present my feedback on such a wonderful and knowledgeful sessions. I'm really delighted by attending the sessions and exposing myself to the possible safety measures and the threat we may experience. We all know that if the third world war happens, it will be in the cyber world. Okay, and we all have experienced that somebody is following us. Whenever we log into the system, whatever we are browsing in the internet, we get the same kind, whatever we are interested in, the same kind of advertisements will pop up in our mails, will pop up in the browser as and when we log into the system and all. So somebody is watching, a third eye is watching all our movements. So when the third eye is watching our movements, there is a possibility that there is a possible vulnerability that we may be susceptible to such cyber attacks. Okay, so these kinds of workshops should be made to the normal people as well, because everybody are having their mobile phones today. Everybody are using their ATM cards. Either they are using they're making the bank transactions, or they are making use of the mobile phones. And nowadays we are using different payment channels like Google Pay, Phone Pay, and all. So we should be aware of what are the attacks that may happen. It is not only to the technical people. These kinds of workshops should be made. If possible, these kinds of workshops should be organized for the laymen also. So now, earlier we would have hearing the words like somewhere else the cyber attack had been happened. But nowadays, we in the close circle only, some of us are the prey to the cyber attacks. Some we will be seeing every alternative days we will be seeing that my Facebook account has been hacked, my Twitter account has been hacked. Please don't send any money if somebody is asking on my behalf and all. So that the more attackers are taking this as a job, and they are trying to get the money from fraudulent messages and all. So we should be having such workshops, and we should know how we should secure ourselves from these kinds of attacks. Okay. Fortunately, I got an opportunity to participate in this workshop, and it was well organized, and all the resource persons were very knowledgeable. In spite of their busy schedules, they made up their mind. In spite of their busy commitments, unavoidable commitments also, they came on the link, and they presented and they transferred their knowledge for us. So I thank the resource persons for making their time and presenting or transferring the knowledge to us. I also thank the conveners, Dr. Srinivas BR and Dr. Vinita HP, for having taken all hardship in making this workshop into reality. I would express my thanks to Dr. Purnima B for organizing the workshop, and I also request Madam to organize these kinds of workshops physically and for longer duration in future. I thank for giving me an opportunity to express my views in this workshop. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you very much, Raghu. Thank you for your valuable feedback. Now I request any one students to express their views. I request any one student.
Sir, I'm a student of your department. First of all, I thank every presenters and coordinators of this workshop for giving us such a wonderful event and informative event. By today, these days, we knowingly or unknowingly we share our data, and our data has been exposed to the whole world. By this event, we came to know that how we can save our data, and in future how we can prevent hackers or someone from accessing our data and etc. This event was very wonderful, and every presenter gave us such a knowledge that in future it was helpful, and this can be even useful in our syllabus, day-to-day life, and etc. We can use this a lot, and the information was very informative. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Any other participants, if you are willing to give the feedback, please, we can give the feedback. Any suggestions? Suggestions also most welcome. Any other suggestions or feedback? If any of the students or faculty is willing to give means, please, the stage is yours. Any suggestions? Okay. Hope we don't have further suggestions. So
Uh, uh, we consider your feedback. Even we have planning to conduct one offline workshop
Hello.
about
Hello.
cyber security in the coming days.
Hello.
Okay, thank Pradeep. Proceed.
Actually, I participated all the 4 sessions. Actually, I thought any research problem. What are the research unopened questions? That type of session will be there. Means what are the present challenges are there that an academician can address. Today morning one beautiful session was there. It made very forcibly made interactive very good. Then today also afternoon session also it was very quite good. And yesterday also senior person, cyber security person also he delivered the good presentation. But I was thinking in research oriented so that academician can solve it to some extent, because in 2025 cyber security is the main job offering area, where all our machine learning, deep learning, AI algorithms will be there. Huge algorithms will be there. Huge algorithms will be incorporated to identify and predict the cyber attacks. Either it can be a financial sector, or it can be bank domain, or any other. Cyber attack not only for banking sectors, it can be any other. Nowadays, the cyber prevention is better than cure. In what way our technology can be incorporated to make our data is secured? Everywhere nowadays is a data architecture. Data is driven now. Data is having very much huge importance. Now it has to kept very secured. If you keep if you keep it in your email, that can be hacked. If you keep in WhatsApp, that also one or the other day, your WhatsApp account can be hacked, as similar as Facebook. Recently, I have seen a number of posts. My Facebook account has been hacked. My Twitter account recently you might have seen. Even the Prime Minister Twitter account has been hacked. Even though so much of technology is there in India, why those compromises are occurring? I thought one sessions could have been in that angle so that we can also think in that directions.
Hello.
Noted.
It's a very good suggestion, Pradeep. I will consider your suggestion in the coming days. Even we are planning to conduct one offline
Yes, madam.
workshop
That is
about
best.
cyber security in the coming days under this Center of Excellence. Definitely, we will consider your suggestion and we'll make a way for that also. Thank you
Okay.
for your wonderful suggestion. Anyone is willing to give feedback? Please. Is there anyone from any other institution? If no, I think Srinivas, we can conclude.
Okay, anyhow, we are about the end of the sessions. Once again, on behalf of Bapuji Institute of Engineering and Technology, my special thank to the speaker, today's speaker, Yasir sir, due to his busy schedule and the personal problem also, he just committed with the workshop and the session, and he delivered the talk even in the busy schedule. So I thank Yasir sir for your
Thank you,
commitment
sir.
and delivering the talk, and I hope we will make use of your knowledge in future as as we got the feedback from the participant. We need to look these kind of events in research oriented side, so that it will be useful for the faculties also. I once again thank you very much, Yasir sir. I also thank all the participants for their active participation and interaction during the sessions. And my special thanks to our beloved HOD. Yeah, she is the backbone for us. She will always been coping up in all the such kind of events. She will always the first to take these kind of events more successful. And also thank my coordinator, convener, Dr. Vinita HP. She stood with us and she helped me a lot in all those kind of activities. My special thanks to the coordinators. These two are the backbones of our event. Sushma and Divya, these two stood forward and they took all the responsibilities in conducting these kind of event. Because of them and because of the participants, and also thank the students. Without students, it is very difficult for us to conduct these kind of events. Students also plays an important role in organizing such a wonderful event. I also thank the student coordinators, and my special thanks to all the participants and the faculties of our department and all the heads of the department, other participants within the college, outside the college, and deans academic. And my one from heartful thank to director and the principal for giving support for conducting such a kind of wonderful workshop, and also they are the backbone for making the center of excellence in the institute. If we go on telling the thanks, it is not limited. So I will once again from my side, from the department side, I will thank all the participants for their active involvement and active participation. Thank you very much. We are going to end the session, and the feedback link will be shared in the WhatsApp group. I request all the participants to fill the feedback, and even the certificate will be issued within 2 days. After once, if you fill the feedback, based on that, we will give the feedback to your mail ID itself. Thank you very much once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.